Lagos Business School. Kola Ogunbowale combines extensive academic knowledge with practical experience as a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria.
I want to have an engaging section, more of not telling you what to do, but practically sharing my personal experience and other people's experience. Then you navigate your own direction in that manner. Because I keep telling people, it is not for me to advise, it's not for me to direct. It is for you to decide on what you actually want to achieve eventually. But you can always pick people's knowledge based on what you've seen on their failure, from their success, and align that along with what you actually want to do at the end of it. I want to say that there are multiple roads to the market. There's a Yoruba proverb that said that there are multiple roads to the market, but that's the olden days in the traditional market. But today in today's supermarket, we have just one road to the market. That's a joke though. However, consistency, like the first and second speakers talked about, okay. Consistency, like the first and second speakers talk about, the name and the word itself defines itself properly and appropriately. I wear multiple caps, and eventually you will get to know about those caps that I wear as we move on about this discussion. But as we start, I want us to listen to this video.
Learn how to get stuff done. I've seen at every level people who are very good at describing problems, very sophisticated in explaining why something went wrong or why something can't get fixed. But what I'm always looking for is, no matter how small the problem or how big it is, somebody who says, let me take care of that. And if you project an attitude of whatever it is that's needed, I can handle it and I can do it, whoever's running that organization will notice, I promise. Which is why I think with young people, you don't always need to be so impatient asking for the plum assignment. A lot of times, the best way to get attention is whatever is assigned to you, you are just nailing it. You're killing it. People will notice, that's somebody who gets something done. Then the second piece of advice, worry more about what you want to do rather than what you want to be. I think so often people have in their mind, I want to be a congressman by 30. I want to make X amount of money by this age. The people I find that are most successful are the people who say, I'm really interested in computers and figuring this stuff out. And then they end up being the Bill Gates. Or I'm really interested in how to cure this disease. Maybe they don't end up winning the Nobel Prize, but you know what? They have an extraordinary career because they're just interested in the thing itself. If you are absorbed by what you're doing, you're going to get really good at it. And whether you're rewarded, recognized, you get the positions that you want or not, the journey will have been good.
So that takes me to the question, what exactly do you have passion doing? Not just passion, what skill do you have? It's difficult for you to say you want to be consistent and you don't really have a skill. A lot of people really don't have skill. What skill do you have? Are you a tailor? I never loved wearing native, sincerely. I don't wear native. If you know me in my regular life, I'm always on suit. You know why? Because nobody has ever sewn native that fits me at any point in time while growing up. I dislike native. But you know what? This native, the day the tailor sewed this native and I wore it, I was like, wow. It became a turning point for me in wearing native, right? And that was because I saw the guy has actually skilled himself, he has upskilled himself, he has actually been able to pay attention to some specific details. And what are those details? They are very simple. Past tailors, when I was a child, when they sew the clothes so big, I dislike it. They sew it in a way that it doesn't fit, I totally dislike it. My parents will always force me to wear native. I will never wear it, right? But I turned out to start liking native nowadays. Why? Because I've identified a tailor who have actually upscaled something that is different, who was trying to pay attention to those details. It is not enough for you to be a tailor, but it's good enough for you to be a good tailor at that. So what is that skill that you have? Are you a mechanic? What kind of mechanic are you? Are you that mechanic that bring the vehicle to your workshop, and by the time the vehicle is leaving the workshop, it is looking like a very terrible vehicle, right? So what skill do you have? What skill have you been able to upskill yourself? That's the reason why I like my Igbo brothers, right? Because of their apprenticeship processes, right? A lot of them don't go to school, but you see the apprenticeship skill that they learn over the years from their boss make them, right? You see, that skill is really very important. That's what Obama was talking about right here. What problem do you want to solve? Do you have a problem to solve? If you are not solving a problem, then you are not going to ever make anything out of it, right? There must be a problem to be solved. Everybody cannot be a business person. We always are going to have employees. As an employee, what problem are you solving in that organization? What problem are you solving? You must be able to solve a problem. You must be able to build on the skill that you have in existence, right? For you to be able to say that you want to be consistent. You can be consistent doing the wrong thing, but yet you want to be consistent doing the what? Doing the right thing. Now, for you to be consistent doing the right thing, you must step up your game. You must skill yourself. You must actually go low to go and learn from people who have passed through that road in the past. Somebody have done whatever you think you want to be doing today. Somebody have done it before. I see people that call themselves, what do you call this thing now? Electrical engineers. And you call me and tell me you're an electrical engineer. So what? You can't pull wire? My brother, go and join the old guy that has been doing this business, the local man that never went to school. Go and join him. Learn how to pull the wire. Learn the apprenticeship. You see, it is not automatic. It's a road that you must follow. You have to follow that road. It's not enough for you to graduate from the university. Forget about all those nonsense. Right? You must actually learn the apprenticeship. Right? Are you a caterer? Are you a chef? Someone that has been doing the roadside cooking and people buy it. You know what? Go and learn how to do those cooking, because there's a secret in every business. There is a secret in every business. Now, that takes me to the next slide. When you talk about consistency, there are a couple of key points I've pointed out that I see that affected me while growing up, right? And I'm still growing though. Here we have consistency. Here we have prudency. Here we have opportunity. Here we have failure. Here we have trade secret. Here we have identity. Here we have positioning. Some of the speakers spoke on some of these points earlier on. Now, I'll start with failure. You will always fail. You will always fail. But never allow your failure to deter you. I'm a chartered accountant, and while growing up, I remember very well when I was about to start my ICANN program. I left secondary school and somebody came to me and said, you know what, you can start 8 years with your 5 credits. And I said, okay, let's go and try. So I have a neighbor then. When I told him about this, my dream and my passion to go and start 8 years, he told, 8 years. Nobody passed ICANN exam, they always fail. I look at the guy, I just moved. I went, I purchased the form, I got the form, my first 8 years one, I passed. 8 years two, I failed. Then I approached my dad. He said, you know what? I spoke to some of my friends and they said you don't pass that exam. Maybe you should go and focus on your university. Okay, I moved on. I went back to school. I was doing a whole lot of stuff to raise money. I went back to write that exam without asking money from my dad. I wrote the second exam, that the second time in 8 years two, I failed again. Then I went back to write the exam. Those exams weren't cheap. Then I'm talking about the exam that you have to be paying like 30, 40 naira. I'm talking about almost 20 years back. That's a lot of money. So, I wrote the exam the third time. You know, we get to the point, the speaker was talking about spirituality here. You get to the point where you start thinking that is this somebody that is doing you? And it's actually the scenario when you're writing that kind of exam. When you fail, you begin to think, especially when your father married 2 wives, you begin to think maybe your stepmother that is doing you, or there's somebody that is actually chasing you somewhere, right? So I remember very well, I used to go to church more frequent at that point because I realized that becoming spiritual, right? So I already the third time I passed. That was when I knew, okay, I think we're making progress. I was in university. Then I wrote my test 3, which was the third stage, and I passed as stretched. So, what am I pulling out of that? Trying to illustrate failure. A lot of people that we started that 8 years program together failed 8 years 1 and they backed out. That they can't continue. It doesn't make sense, right? But failure will always make you. Failure will make you a better person. Are you getting what I'm saying? So never be scared to fail. Let me talk about prudency. Prudency. A lot of people will go into business for whatever purpose that they want to go and start business. Some people will even tell you when I'm a business owner, I wake up anytime I like, I sleep anytime I like, I do my business anytime I like. You're not a business person. As a matter of fact, the day you take the decision that you want to be a business owner, you want to start a business, then you are starting a terrible phase of your career. You know what? You are in sleep. Because I remember my wife would always tell me, Kola, I used to talk at night. I said, allow me to talk, because maybe at that time I'm meditating. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's not a luxury of time for you when you go into business. Because you have a lot of headache, you have a lot of responsibility to take care of, right? You are scared of even failing. As a result, you also want to pick to what? You want to pick time. Now, prudency now speaks to, look, it is not a time for you to sleep and flex all around. It's not a time for you to begin to go to party. It's not a time for you to begin to spend. That's what our prudency. Prudency doesn't mean that you are stingy. Get me right. Prudency doesn't mean that somebody that's in need you can't give, but prudence is only preventing you from doing the excess, right? Prudence is saying that you cannot do that excess. Oh, I have 1 million naira now, so I can go to club and actually go and flex. Prudence is saying, no, you can't do all of those because the business is going to demand a whole lot from you. You need to research, you need to upscale, you need to spend money on growing the business and do so many things. That's what prudence is talking about. Opportunity. Opportunity will always come when you remain consistent in that business. So don't get me wrong. You could be in a business that's really not making sense. You need to evaluate yourself. Again, you can't be skilled. You wouldn't have gone through a process of tutelage, a process of training for like 5 years under somebody, and you will not like or have passion for what you have learned over that period of time, right? If you have learned a trade that you did not even know, that you don't like or you don't have passion for, right? Then, I'm not even expecting you to be there in 5 years. For you to be somewhere in 5 years to have learned a skill, it means you have passion for that thing. Meaning that you will definitely be consistent. And it's only when you are consistent that this will only come to you at any point in time. You never know when this opportunity will come, but you have to be what? On foot on what you are doing. And again, I always tell people, never expect the first customer, never expect customers from family and friends. Never expect it. Because they will never patronize you. You see, because they know you too well. They will say, oh, that okay, how will I okay sew my clothes? They will never patronize you. But you know what? By the time they hear your news from outside, right, they will bring all their dollars to you to come and start doing work for them. So don't expect anything from family or friends. Opportunity will always come. You need to be consistent to get to this point. Positioning. Positioning is about consistency too. If you are consistent, you are only positioning yourself to what? For this opportunity to come your way. Identity. Identity is to get to a point whereby people will identify you for who you are. You can hear the guy reading my profile. I don't even know where he got that from. Most of those details, most likely got it from LinkedIn or somewhere. But again, this is what I'm known for today. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a tax practitioner, right? Anybody that talks about me, identify me with something. Are you getting it now? Why? Because I've been able to identify myself and position myself in that trade, in that business over a period of time. Trade secrets. This is very key. Please hold this at the right hand side. Every business has a secret. And nobody will tell you that secret. Every business has a what? Has a secret. There's a secret to success in every business. My father has a friend in those days. That Baba is an electrician. He didn't go to school. My dad never went to school. My mom did not go to school. My dad went to primary school. He did not go to secondary school. His cousins went to secondary school. Right? My mom never went to school. right? And this old man too did not go to school, but he's an electrician. But this man has a street in Ikeja. I don't want to mention the name. Everybody knows the name. Everybody passes through that street every day. He has a street in Ikeja. He's a bloody what? Rewire. I'm an electrician, right? And what am I talking about? These people learn a trade. My dad learned a trade. Are you getting it now? He went to primary school. His father was a palm wine tapper. His mother was a Yaileja, right? Mother sells fish. You get what I'm saying? But after his primary school, he went to learn a trade as an automobile mechanic. In those days, we have a lot of white guys in Nigeria. I mean, they were lucky. They learned a trade. All these guys learned a trade. They learned. Are you getting what I'm saying? And this so-called electrician has a street in Ikeja today. Everybody passes through that road every day. So, on that street, he has, that I know of, about 3-4 houses on that street. From which work? From electrician work. Do you know what I'm saying? It's about you understanding and knowing the trade. You positioning yourself, opportunity will smile at you, right? And all the other things. The trade secret, you need to know the trade secret. That is the reason why it is not enough for you to go to school to say that you are an engineer. Are you getting it now? It is not out of space that schools ask you to go for IT. Why did they ask you to go for IT? They want you to go and do this. But guess what? You can never get this trade secret in 6-month IT. You will never get it in 1 year. You will not get it in 2 years. If you are smart enough, you will get it in 3 years. If you are smart enough, you will get this trade secret in 3 years. But guess what? You need minimum of 4 to 5 years to get this trade secret in anybody you are learning from. So, people need to be patient when you are learning. You need to pick the right person you need to pick the right person, right, that's going to take you through that rope for you to understand how to make the money. The trade, there's a secret in every business. There's a secret in accounting business. There's a secret in tailoring business. There's a secret in mechanic business. There's a secret in all business, right? You need to identify that secret. Nobody will hand over that secret to you for free. You need to be with that person, work with that person, wake up with that person, work with that person, for you to understand your school that you went to, the BSc you have acquired, all the logic and reasoning that you've learned in school is basically for you to be able to identify this secret. And the moment you get this secret, forget it. Nobody can take it away from you. It becomes yours and yours forever. Another person needs to come and learn under you. And that is the process. This get rich quick concept that is reigning today, I don't understand where it is coming from. But there is a secret to everything. There is a secret to everything. And that is... Okay, so move to the next one. And that speaks to business ownership and employee. Business owner or employee. For me, I ask this question, or the general question that goes around, that are entrepreneurs born or are they made? I think you will answer that question at the end of all this section. Are entrepreneurs born or are they made? And I said earlier on, the day you decide to be an entrepreneur, you have started a journey that is so, for me, I call it a sleepless night journey. A journey that will not give you the opportunity to party with friends as regular. A journey that will not give you the freedom to do whatever you like at any time. Right? Somebody said 10 minutes more, but I think I'm going to use a little more because I'm not even talking about my story. So, business owner and an employee, either of the two, whichever position you want to take, every one of them has its own challenges. But whichever one you decide to go with, you must be what? Consistent in and solving problems. Now, let's quickly look at this video. And let's learn from these guys.
Then they go back to Nigeria. They start like the gas business. Year 1, year 2, year 3, so all going well. Now I started companies, traveling to Dubai. My wife came to Nigeria, the kids came to Nigeria the first time. You know, money is not really becoming any more of a problem anymore. And this is stabilizing. Wow. Late 2015, we get a phone call from one of my drivers. He's now in shouting, Nigerian language. Okay. What is it, Mr. Paul? He's like, we just had an accident. 65 liters of truck, petroleum product tankers running into each other, somersaulting into the valley, blowing up.
told I'm a child accountant, and my story is very. I'm going to run around it. So after graduation from the uni, I was already qualified before graduation. Right, that was because I started my ICANN much earlier. So I got to Abuja after service. And when I arrived in Abuja, I was like, okay, what's happening here? I started walking. I literally walked the whole of Abuja. So I know everywhere in Abuja today. I literally walk with my foot, right, from Use to Area 1, everywhere, looking for what, looking for a job. So I went to this man, into this man's office, a firm of child accountant. I was like, okay, I want to work with you. And I was like, well, there's no job and all those things. Early in the year, January, that everything is slow. But don't worry, I will call you when something comes up. I mean, like about 1 week after, the man called me and said, there's something I should come. I came. Guess what? I didn't even talk about salary, mind you. There was this job, and I jumped on it. We started fixing the job, writing the proposal. We were done, almost about 100 pages proposal, and we submitted. Right? And towards the end of the month, the man paid me 30,000 naira, if I can remember now. Then, and I was like, okay, that became my salary automatically. It's an Igbo man, mind you. That became my salary automatically. This man today, if I ask him for his eye, he will only ask me, Kola, are you sure this is my eye I want to give you? He's going to give us money. If I confirm to him, yes, he's going to say, have the eye. That's how much it so much trusts me. When I was there as an employee, I would be the one that will approach him and say, oh, guy, you know what? Let's submit proposal here. Let's do this, let's do that to build the business. Our office was no more than this space. Our office was small. I was the one that always telling, push proposal here, push proposal there, as an employee, mind you, and I was learning under him. You know what I'm saying? In that point, we started a business with some of my guys in a lecture center, and this is the failure, and these are the learning I want you to pick from all of this. We started a lecture. When I used to lecture in that center, and I realized that they were not doing ATS. Remember the story of the ATS I talked about earlier on? That I failed ATS 1, I failed ATS 2 about 3 times. I told him, you're not doing ATS, but this is where I started from. I want to start lecturing ATS. And I said, okay, you can start. So we started, and I told him I don't have money to pay you. And he was like, okay, so how do we go about it? I said, no problem. The student we get, I will share percentage. Give me the percentage you want us to do. I remember maybe we agreed 60-40. We get 60, he gets 40%. I didn't argue. I said, okay. Something about you as a business person is that you must always have a goal. You must have a vision, right? You must be convinced with your vision that what you want to actually want to achieve at the end of the day. I went on without having any discussion with him. So, when we're done, when we started doing marketing, we got about 12 students. And of course, I knew something was going to happen, that he will come back one day and tell us that he wants to run that program. Because we are practically running a similar program that he's doing, but another function of program. So, I started looking out for another space almost immediately. Of course, like I knew, immediately after that diet, he called me and said, Kola, we are starting our own program, the following diet. And I said, no problem, so we moved. But he gave us an opportunity, and what was the opportunity? He allowed us to go and start ATS. We started ICANN, we started ICANN Professional, we started ACCA. All the program he was doing, we were also doing it in our own center. So as at that time in Abuja, we had only 2 centers. Because he allowed us to break out of him, we went to start the 3rd formable center. So that particular year, the customer that would have gone to those 2 centers naturally, I mean, we were able to pull a number of them. And I can tell you for free that that was the very first time I saw million in the account for the first time, right? About 3 million naira at that time, right? We were able to pull, getting people's money together, all of those things. I was like, wow. Okay, but we failed. Shocking, right? We failed. What happened? At that time, I pulled in partners. I don't like running alone, kind of. I pulled in partners, about 3 of them, another child accountant, another guy that was not a child accountant. So the guy that was not a child accountant was meant to be the marketer, while we were meant to be lecturing, right, at the child accountant. So what happened? It got to a point whereby we were doing transaction on the road, right? We used to do our lecture center in the secondary school, right? Secondary school. And people will come and pay tuition fee as much as 100,000, 300,000, and we are doing that transaction like, I'm talking to you, and he's paying me 300,000. So we got to a day, a lady came to pay about 400,000. She got to the gate and she came back and said she wanted to collect her money back and she's not comfortable. That was when I knew there was a problem, right? She said she wasn't comfortable because if she comes back there tomorrow, she's likely not going to see us there. You know what I'm saying? So I told my guy, look, we need to get an office space. We started running around. I don't tell boy with your story, but we went through hell, as in real hell. You know what I'm saying? You got the point to tell my guy, you know what? Let me go to Lagos and make money. let me go and make money in Lagos. Maybe when I make money, then we can finance this business properly. So I left Abuja, I came to Lagos. I was in Lagos May 2012. I was meant to start working with Fidelity. I was meant to do the final interview with the MD. The MD never showed up, the director came. And for whatever reason that day, the director was telling them at that interview that why are you not employing somebody from inside? Why are you bringing somebody from outside? I knew I was going to lose that job. So I got a mail that I didn't get the job. A week after, I got a job in another accounting firm where I continued my learning. Remember, I started an accounting firm. I returned back to an accounting firm in Lagos where I continued my learning. I was with that accounting firm for good 4 years. And I can tell you it was in that firm I identified the secret of accounting business. You get the logic? It was then I identified the secret in accounting business. So when I left after 4 years, I was like, I joined with another group of people. We started our firm, right? Four of us started the firm, and that was it. That was just it. And that was the success story of Standard Practice over there, the firm of child accountant. Now, as we proceed, I called my brother. Look, my daddy was an automobile mechanic, right? I called my brother on it one day. I was like, we need to start this workshop all over again, right? I'm like, yeah, no problem, we can start it. So we called some other people again as investors, and we started that workshop all over again. And that workshop started again in 2020, COVID. Immediately when we stepped out of COVID, the workshop started as the opportunity that you're seeing right there, right? And what am I saying in all of this? All of this come with their own challenges and their own headache. It's a whole lot of stress, it's a whole lot of sleepless nights, but the success story is always very interesting. Just like you listening to Ashake right here. Everybody listening to this will feel that this guy got to this position overnight, right? He didn't get here overnight. If you go to this guy's story, you will have seen that this guy have actually gone through hell in his life. You know what I'm saying? And that hell did not start, was not 2 years, wasn't 3 years, wasn't 4 years. I'm talking about 7 to 8 years before he got himself to this position, where he's commanding a crowd of over 20,000 people, or how many people in O2 Arena. That is huge, right? And like I said before, it is not good enough for you to fail and point the accusing finger to people that these are the people that make you fail. Hence, whatever I've said here today is just to motivate you. It is not a roadmap to say that this is the direction you have to follow to what? To success or whatever you. But it is something that you can actually ride on. Pick on the learning of the success story and make your own decision.
Hi, is there a problem, officer?
Hi. Where's the driver?
It's a driverless car, obviously.
Where's the driver?
It's a driverless car, obviously. My dad decides that. He was busy, so he told it to take me.
Okay. Well, it just ran a stop sign.
The camera must not have seen it.
Right. But I'm gonna have to write you a ticket.
Why? I was a driver.
Yeah, not you, but,
Who is to blame? Answer the question. Thank you very much, everyone, for us.
Anybody trying to be an entrepreneur should be ready to start a race, should be ready to have sleepless nights. I'm never going to tell you that it is easy. It is never easy. As a matter of fact, you're going to face several challenges. Challenges that are going to deter you to say that, you know what, we are better quit and stop this business. I mean, challenges that are going to be like, hey, we can't just proceed, let us just move on. But your ability to be able to find solution, your ability to be able to weather the storm is what makes you an entrepreneur. That's what brings the success at the end of the day. the consistency of it is you remain in the direction of the business that is actually paving that, be solving the problem, right? So of course you need to be so consistent, and for you to be consistent, you need to weather the storm. You need to be able to solve problems. You need to face those challenges. And if you run from solving those problems, of course you are not consistent, right? So consistency only come after you've been able to solve the problem.